Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the M Word. Yes, I have my hair in a bun. I'm trying it out. If you guys like it, let me know. If you don't, write it in the comment section. I'll read all of them 20 times before I go to sleep. But I'm super excited for today's guest. He's an actor, he's a comedian, he's an adventurer, and he's Irish, okay? And he's also one of the nicest guys I've ever met. So I'm super excited to have him. Please help me welcome Francis Cronin. Francis Cronin, thank you so much.
Brother, a pleasure.
Dude, how long has it been since we last saw each other?
Oof, I would say a year, but honestly, it feels
I think it's
maybe
been more
20
than a year.
years at this point.
Well, 2020 was like 4 years, so.
It was a tough time, 2020, dude.
It was. How'd you handle it?
I went down the rabbit hole of thoughts, and I came out the other side a broken man, to be honest.
Really?
No, I'm feeling pretty good, but I did have some realizations about existence and mortality that I think you're supposed to have later in life. But apart from that, man,
Well, then in
I'm
that
doing
case, it
pretty
was
good.
a blessing for you, right?
Definitely, yeah, man. I mean, silence and nature and solitude.
Solitude is a big
You
one.
learn a lot, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
Dude.
You think you're a better man for it?
I mean, I'm definitely a more conscious human. I feel like I sense and see more after the pandemic, and I appreciate things more. There was a point in the pandemic I could look at a painting and just like get emotional, you know?
Wow.
Because I spend a lot of time alone, dude.
Yeah.
A lot.
Is that like, is that your empathy kind of working?
Dude, I don't
gotta-
know.
it's gotta be
Yeah,
quite a
I had
couple
to kick
things.
in at some point, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
It was just like a walking shell up until 2020.
yeah, no, I think like most people, like you try and be good, you know, try and be nice people, and then certain things in life force you to kind of harden up and maybe focus forward.
Yeah.
And so when you're thinking about the future and trying to nail or complete a mission or achieve something, your consciousness is focused on the future. But when you have to sit still, dude, like a prisoner in your own home for a year, your consciousness kind of expands into the present, and then there's like a lot of realizations come to light. Like you start getting, sounds crazy, but like you get, if you're really quiet, you can kind of almost hear the universe whisper little bits of wisdom to you. You know what I mean?
So? Yeah.
Well, just realizations and maybe brain.
What did it whisper to you? Do you want something to drink, by the way?
Oh, I would love
What
it.
would you like? I have LaCroix, ginger ale, a beer.
Hey, you know what? I would love just a water. I'm on a bit of a health kick.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll tell you why later, but
Yeah? All right, for sure.
I'm going climbing. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Climbing?
In Africa.
In Africa, okay.
Yeah. So.
So, what is that? What famous mountain is in Africa?
Mount Kilimanjaro, Tanzania. Biggest peak in Africa, 19,500 feet.
Dude, you fucking...
And I've only 2 feet, so that's a lot.
I forgot how much I fucking loved your accent, dude. Oh, right now that you just said that, it just like, it made me tingle, bro.
Yeah. Well, that's what the flowers were for. Right? But no, I think just trying to, you know, occupy my days. And
Wait. So you're gonna go climbing Mount Kilimanjaro?
Yes.
With who?
There's an athlete, and she lost 2 legs above the knee, and in a terrible accident. Her name is Mandy Horvath, MandyHorvath, and she's just showing that she won't be broken. So she's going up that mountain. She's going to pull herself up 19,500 feet, arm over arm, and we're going to try and document the whole thing because it's a hell of a story.
So you're doing it with her?
Yeah, doing it with her. I'm just on. I'm helping produce and direct it with another guy.
Oh, okay.
With a guy called Edward Drake.
Okay.
He's really doing great things. He wrote and directed the last few Bruce Willis movies, so
Wow.
it's moving at a good level.
Wow, that's what's up.
So yeah, dude, I'm optimistic. But
That is awesome. You get to accomplish something off your bucket list while also getting some money.
Yeah.
That is, what a blessing that is, huh?
Yeah.
You excited or you nervous?
I'm excited. I'm nervous, and I'm also getting kicked out of your country at the same time. So there's a lot going on.
Are you getting deported?
Yeah. I'm an immigrant, although I know classically in the news I'm not what a... But I'm an Irish immigrant, yeah. And so my visa has to be renewed every 3 years. And it just happened to coincide with me going to Tanzania. So I'll renew it from Tanzania, and
Yeah.
hopefully we document a show that makes people feel like no matter what happens to them, they can
That's what's up.
keep going forward.
Yeah.
And
My uncle got deported.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
oh shit, everyone gets deported.
Everyone's getting
It's hard to
deported.
stay in this
Yeah.
country.
Yeah, unless you're like a little like
Oh yeah, no. If
you break some rules. Yeah.
if you want to work off the radar in the States,
Yeah.
you can hang out.
Yeah.
But if you want to,
Yeah. If you want to do what we want to do, then
Yeah.
it's gonna be pretty tough.
yeah, because you're in the showbiz, you're out there telling everybody, I'm out here, I'm doing things, because that breeds more work, and so it's hard to kind of hide when you're in showbiz.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to be in a movie, get paid.
And then also ducking the authorities.
When immigration calls, they go, "Is this you?" And they're like, "Who?" And they go,
Yeah.
"This massive fucking cinema screen."
Yeah. You don't want to get arrested on the Paramount lot, dude.
No. Security's tight over there.
Yeah, but you've always been like a really good guy. When did we meet? I think we met back in like 2015.
Well, coming from you, that's nice, dude. Like we're all good dudes. Like everyone's trying, dude. Like it's
well,
not like
there are a lot of people who are not good dudes, bro. Like.
But and even that though, they're probably working on themselves, or they haven't figured it out yet that there's two ways you can go, and the closer you get to the good side, the nicer life gets.
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden, there's like levels of existence.
Yeah, I've been like, yeah, man. It was. I remember I met you, and you were super cool. It was in the Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank.
Oh, fuck.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I love that place.
Yeah.
It's I was hosting an open mic probably.
No, I think you were hosting a show in the U room.
I was doing well, Mum.
Yeah. You're doing really well. And then like a couple months later, you headlined that room.
Oh,
Remember
did I?
that? Yeah.
Nice, man. Well, I'll take it. Yeah. Well,
Do you not remember?
dude, I'm like yourself, man. I'm always moving, so it's hard to keep up. It's a blessing and a curse. I like to keep doing things because if I have a lot of time to think, like that last year, then life can, it's a lot. There's a lot of stuff coming in on the radar, and so I like to keep moving. So it's hard to keep track of all the things. But yeah, I guess I probably headlined Flappers. Probably got a fat check.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, bought a car off of that and everything.
Yeah, but I do remember we've spent a lot of time kind of just waiting to go up, kind of side stage. Me and you just kind of go, how you doing? Yeah, you good? Yeah, you got any new material? Yeah, is it going well? You nervous? Yeah. All right, dude, you're up. Go get him, you mad bastard. And then everyone's like cheering. Yeah. And then you come down, everyone's like, and then I come down, and everyone's like, hey man.
No.
Guess we won't be seeing you
for a while.
People loved
you, bro. People loved you, bro.
It's nice, isn't it? Like we're out there pushing good energy.
It's wonderful. Being a comedian is awesome. I love it.
Very scary though.
It is scary. I always tell people it's the best thing I've ever done. It's also the hardest thing I've ever done. Yeah. It's very challenging because people don't know how exciting and how high you get when you kill, when you murder the stage. Like you're high for weeks. Nothing bothers you.
Yeah.
You're just like...
A good set could carry you through for months.
Oh, dude. But then when you bomb, you want to kill yourself. And I don't say that jokingly. Like, it puts you in such like a bad space mentally when you bomb.
So when I'm booking you on a show, there's a risk that it might be your last.
Yeah. Always. Every time you see me, there's a risk that might be your last.
Nah, but yeah. Well, you know, without as my Australian friends, I don't want to say, like, I don't want to piss in your pocket, but you've always been pleasant. You're always like working hard. You always do really well, and you're like I've seen you destroy many times, and then out in the car park, you're just like this, like a friendly, gentle giant who's trying to make people feel good, and there's a reason people gravitate towards you. It's because you're putting out that energy, and you're getting it. That's why you're getting it back, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
It's like it's a real skill set. Like people think that it's by accident that people are like that, but I think it takes work and practice and good habits over time, and probably a lot of loss and friction.
A lot of trauma. a lot of negative scenarios that happened in your life.
Or like deep thinking, right? Because deep thinking.
I do think a lot.
Yeah.
I do. I reflect on every single day. I reflect every single day, and I just think. I think so much, and sometimes it is bothersome because it's like it gets overwhelming. But I do. I stay thinking.
Oh well, yeah, indeed.
It sounds weird, but yeah,
Well, thinking is well, first of all, it's our job, so it's kind of like comedians. If you look at a brick and you go, "Oh, what's funny about the brick?"
Yeah.
What's funny about the red brick? You got to think about what's funny about the red brick. You'll do an
Yeah.
hour on a red brick. And then when you're going to sleep, your subconscious is working on the red brick. And then by the end of the week, you've got a 1 minute bit.
Yeah.
Then you take that bit on stage and it's hammered into your psyche through adrenaline and fear, or maybe laughs and joy.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you got a minute on a red brick.
Yeah.
And then it goes flat. So you've literally put in maybe 3 months into thinking about a red brick.
Yeah.
And people wonder why comedians are crazy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can I just
Yeah,
tell the
go
truth?
ahead. It is a little
It's
warm.
roasting here, and I
It is
like
a little warm.
I like it.
It
Though.
is a little. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you dressed appropriately. I wanted to look like somebody who wrote papers about psychology.
yeah. It is a little warm. Why is it so warm?
No, it's good. Well,
But
it's fine.
what was I gonna say? Yeah, but you're also an actor. What was the last project you were on?
A movie called Cosmic Sin, which was, the lead was Bruce Willis, the director was Edward Drake, and that was like leveling up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I only in it for a few seconds, but it's a really cool part. I'm a singing hologram, and every time Bruce Willis throws somebody into the jukebox, I kind of fade in and turn into another character.
Wow.
But I got to sing, got to hang out, and then as a result of getting on well there, they gave me a few more little spots in 2 other Bruce Willis movies.
Wow.
And,
Have you met Bruce?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah. I've met him. Like the whole camp is really nice. It's a group of humans that hang out a lot
Yeah.
together. It's like the comedy scene, except
Yeah.
a small, like a nucleated settlement of
Yeah,
humans with
yeah.
moving in one direction.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
you stay doing a lot of stuff. Like you say, I do a lot of stuff. You do a lot of stuff. You're a comedian, actor. You were in the fucking army.
Yeah,
What the fuck was that? I didn't know about that
like,
about you. So like 2-3 years into our friendship.
Yeah, we're both trying, dude. We're both great
Yeah.
guys, and we want to see what we're capable of, right?
Yeah.
So we got to get out there.
Yeah, like how? But like, I love people who are like, every couple years they're just in like a different a different life, basically.
Yeah.
Like you've lived many lives, and I feel like people have told me that too. Where like, if they've knew me like 5-6 years ago, like I was doing completely different things.
Yeah.
I was dressed completely differently, hair different, and everything. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
like how I want to talk about. Yeah. So what military were you in?
Oh yeah. So yeah, but the long and short of it is, dude, we just like we're aware of life,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we want to seize the day and
Just go wherever the wind takes you.
Yeah,
basically.
it'd be great. We know what being able to speak well and entertain people
Yeah.
feels like.
Yeah.
So we want to do more of that.
Yeah.
We've had a taste of like what it could be like in the future. Like
Yeah.
we've got glimpses of like, wow, if I could do that 1 minute for an hour,
Yeah.
or that 5 minutes for an hour,
Yeah.
or that 30 minutes for an hour, I'd have a product, and maybe I could have 200 people,
Yeah.
and maybe I could like have a house, and maybe I could like, and you could live that life. So like it's completely rational that we would want to chase this amazing thing that is like having people pay attention to you. It doesn't have to be a negative or a narcissistic thing or a thing. It can be a really good tool. Like if you have a following, you can move massive amounts of money in a direction that you want to put it. Like I'm going to Kilimanjaro. Just because I've done a little bit of work in something else, I get to go there.
Yeah.
Direct funds towards it, make something in my imagination happen. So, like, why wouldn't we pursue this?
Yeah.
Like, you can't. It just makes life it greases the wheels of life. Like, if the more notoriety and more kind of domains that you can operate in and kind of like graft out an existence in, then it's like
You're a modern day adventurer.
I would like to do more, but I am held back by my lack of notoriety and cash. But when I get the cash, I'm going for the South Pole.
South Pole?
South Pole, 7 Peaks. I want to go to India and just kind of like live out there. I've been there once and I saw this fascinating place. A lot going on in the streets. So I'd like to be around that. I'd like to tour the world doing comedy. Like just seize the day. But yeah, it started out. Basically grew up in Ireland. At 18, it was either go to college or the only other thing that seemed interesting was the army. So I joined the Irish Army and did that for about 6 years. Trained up, all the basic stuff. By the end of it, I went in as an airman, was a fireman, aviation firefighter. There was a one, just kind of the bullet points. Helicopter crash. Then I went for Coast Guard. I got it. I was about to get promoted, and then they cancelled doing the Coast Guard.
Did you say you were in a helicopter crash?
No, I attended it. The cool things about the career, the bullet points. There was a helicopter crash that I was on duty for. Everybody got out alive, but it was like in a cornfield, and it nearly went. It was going to go up, and we had to spray the foam, and it was.
Oh my!
So it was pretty cool. I got to do some cool stuff.
Yeah.
And always kind of moving in the direction of a lot of stimulation and high octane.
Absolutely, dude.
So after the fire service and the all that stuff, I went to. Applied to get into the United Nations to serve in Africa, Liberia, and I did a tour over there, like 4 months. Pretty cool. Liberia, in West Africa's 2005. I was over there with the Irish-Swedish Quick Reaction Force. So it was like a battalion strong unit, and we were patrolling the jungles. And
dude, I had no idea what this. I've known you for years. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Like just entertaining. Just like seize the day.
Yeah.
Like just go for it. What is it? Quote Joe Rogan in a podcast.
Yeah,
like
GOAT,
write your own autobiography.
Yeah.
Like when the lights are about to go out and you're just going.
Yeah.
You just go, wow, was that a good movie? Is that last movie that plays in my head? Was that entertaining? Did I treat people right? Did I try and do good stuff? The world is, everyone's suffering in the world, and as they wake up, they suffer more because they realize what life is. Oh, did I alleviate that enough? Could I have done a little bit more? Was I happy myself? That's where my mind goes. So
you think you've done that so far, or you still need a couple?
Dude, I'm trying, but I think the more I sit with the problem, like the more I realize you got to be just happy yourself, and then by centering yourself and kind of getting your energy and your finances, your fitness, your family, your friends, and everything that's fun in order, you kind of you pull opportunities towards you because people want to be around that energy. Yeah. And then once you figure out that life's about moving energy around, then it's a new game. And I'm just saying
I discovered that I want to say maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's changed a lot.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too into that, but people like energy is very real.
Yeah. And it absolutely. And it's like the words we say. Like if you ever been around somebody who's like super negative all the time?
Oh, it's draining. You want to go take a nap after hanging out with them.
It feels like a
sluggish.
Like
you feel hungover almost.
Yeah, they're vampires and you're a hemophiliac. Like it's just it's too much pain. So you can't be around them, so they get distance. But if you have things right and your words are positive, true but positive, and you seldom go negative, and you bring your best energy, but a truthful energy, like I can admit that I'm under pressure here. I'm sweating, I'm tired.
Yeah.
But I love you. You know that. Yeah. I love these guys. I want people to succeed. But if you meet people with truth and you look them in the eye and you kind of you're vulnerable but strong and moving forward. Like literally, it's an elixir for success. Dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
It greases the wheels of life because life is so hard in general for everybody that if you can just be if you can just bring like some semblance of levity to anything, like. Dude, you become kind of like an angel for people, like, and and then there's levels of angels. Like I'm talking shit now, but basically you can start out. You can be the guy who's dragging everybody down, or you can be the person who's kind of keeping everybody even keel, or you can be the person that whenever they meet you, they feel better. Yeah. But then. Where I would like to go by the time I tap out of this, whatever this experiment life is.
Jesus Christ.
Well, he's a really good example. He's a good example of, even if you're not religious, just that archetypal personality of a good person walking through life and just like, I think red pilling has a different connotation now, but just like telling absolute truth to people and saying the emperor has no clothes and hierarchical structures are all an illusion and we should all be nice to each other and the answers are within and Holy Spirit is just another word for intuition and blah, blah, blah. Basically, Jesus Christ he's a good example, whether he is what you believe in or whatever the church tries to, cannibalize all that and make it into some sort of into a sustainable business model,
Yeah.
which is also, you know, there's probably benefit to that too. But just to be a person who walks through life and brings joy to people, I'm not there yet, and I have no airs or like I'm not there yet. But fuck it, dude, wouldn't that be great if we could just like, as you walk down the road, like there's some people now that are so self-realized and so centered and have mastered their energy, got their finances in order, that when they walk down the street, people come up to them, and it's joyous to see them for that person. Wherever they walk, they
Gary
meet joy.
Vee, Tim Robbins, kind of people. Yeah.
And at the same time, dude, they get attacked.
Yeah.
Because you turn into a reflection for people who haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, and that's why I don't realize. I don't realize why people attack people like that. Because it's like if you and me are talking, and then I'm just like, Frank, you're the best, you're the greatest, you can do it. Yeah. And then if someone like Jonathan watches us and doesn't think you're the best, or doesn't think highly of himself, he's gonna get upset with me for telling you that.
But I'm glad I'm aware that there's something to work on. Because a lot of people, including myself, they're so focused on the future or the past that they forget that they can be, that they can really sculpt out something here that's of benefit to the future.
Complacency is death.
What?
Complacency is death. Yeah. If you become complacent with yourself or your surroundings or your setting or your career or anything. Yeah. You might as well die. You're stuck. You might as well die.
Yeah, complacency or a lack of momentum. And momentum seems to be like, it's almost like compound interest. It's very hard to get your head around the concept.
But once you
experience momentum, I experienced it already once in showbiz, and I thought, I kind of let it subside. If I experience it again, let me tell you, dude, I'm gonna surf that wave and I'm gonna keep paddling.
I know. And you're 100% right.
Because not just because you're trying to reach notoriety, but because who knows what's on the far side of that? Yeah. Like, where could that wave take you? What kind of, especially if you've got yourself in the right place mentally, like how could you use all the resources that you will be able to bring to bear in the future? Like, how could you use them to like create like a good time? Yeah. For as many people as possible, right?
Absolutely.
Which is really annoying and boring.
But I love it, dude.
But you know, dude, if you examine the world for what it is, like you walk outside your apartment and there's a guy injecting heroin into his.
I mean, look at my studios in downtown. Downtown is like a cluster of people, and it's so strange. And I hope someone does like some form of documentary or something about downtown LA, where it's just like you have these very insanely rich people walk right past a drug addict or a homeless person. Yeah. On every block. Yeah. For miles. And it's just like, you don't see that in Hollywood. You see a little bit in Hollywood, but you don't see that in the rest of the city. Yeah. Downtown is just, I don't know. But
well, yeah. Well, you know, with money comes the ability, I guess, right, to lobby more. So you're more in contact with the mayor. The mayor probably lives in your neighborhood. And so there's just a little less, usually less problems on the street. But from what I've noticed, and you know, it's fun to kind of think as well that like rich people are like evil or they haven't got care, but actually they do massive amounts of good stuff.
Yeah, right? It's not their, the people that, when I say like rich people walking next to, it's not their fault. It's not either of their faults.
No,
it's just the way that this part of the city is set up. You get what I'm saying? Like you have these insane loft skyscrapers, and then down the street are all the homeless shelters. Yeah, it's just the way the city planning of it all. Yeah, is what I'm.
And the numbers are so insane. Yeah, the numbers are so insane, and so if you open up the aperture, right, and you can see all that good stuff and all the bad stuff. Yeah, it's like it's a lot to take in, right? Yeah. So it would be nice to move it towards the more relaxed.
Yeah, I do want to talk more about the homeless with you over there, but right now, if you don't mind, we're gonna transition to the living room. Yeah. And thanks again for coming out.
Dude,
thank you, Frank.
I hope I wasn't too strained for you.
No, dude, no. You're beautiful. It was beautiful. And we're done. It was always one of those things where like it wasn't a priority, but
that's like nearly just your sexual preference, right? It's like what I am, and then go with that and see like if I expand into that. Yeah.
Francis Cronin, thank you again for coming out, dude. This has been it's been really cool, like catching up again.
Yeah, and we
Talking,
were joking off air.
Yeah.
That we've been around each other a lot over the years, outside clubs, just before going on stage, getting ready to go on, coming off, debriefing. How was your set? What's working for you? What's not? But you as a person, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know as well as I thought I did when we were sitting at the bar.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I know that, I was just saying, like, if we were driving in a car, I would know, okay, this guy's dope.
Yeah.
We're going to figure out, I want to get to know this guy because
Yeah.
he's moving towards good things, you know?
Yeah.
Like he's,
because we're both really cool guys. So that's like that's like that's the baseline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's no way that either of us that we're gonna be on a road trip and then I go, you know what? I read Mein Kampf the other day and I kind of agree with like. There's no way that's gonna come out of my mouth or your mouth.
No,
you know what I mean? Like that's.
the fact it's in your mind, I'd like to leave. Can I get a taxi?
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, but
he's quick.
But it's cool that you said that because I feel like the closest I was ever with, closest I ever felt with you was a couple years ago when you did this incredible thing of walking from San Francisco to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So this man walked from San Francisco to Los Angeles. How many miles is it?
I forgot my car keys. 500.
500 miles.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is to walk fucking 500 miles? And he did it, and I'll let you talk about it, but he did it to raise awareness for homelessness.
Yeah.
And he didn't stay at a hotel every night. He literally camped out like you were homeless.
Yeah, I was trying to get into the mindset, and you need, if you're going to raise money for a charity, you need like a hook for people to pay attention.
So you did it for charity?
Yeah, Homeless Healthcare Los Angeles. Actually, they're around here.
Yeah.
They take care of a lot of homeless people around here. They actually have shower facilities for thousands of people every day. Give people a chance. I could do one myself. But so I did it for Homeless Healthcare Los Angeles, and I did it also to clear my mind and push myself, see what I was capable of. And the rule was no roofs, no indoors, no tent. So I slept under trucks, doorways,
trucks,
trees.
What kind of trucks?
But California, it doesn't rain too much in California, so
yeah.
it was pretty under parked trucks.
And
very nice.
I know it got really tough for you for some days. I remember
bro.
because you were posting, you were letting all your followers know along the way, like every single step.
Yeah.
And I
was
remember
that was the harder part because
Yeah.
I kind of had. Most people don't want to show vulnerability.
Yeah.
I am like most people.
No, I was following you heavily when you were doing that.
Yeah, it's just I don't like no one likes their weaknesses to be on display. I like to think I'm ex-military, so I've done pretty adventurous stuff, survival stuff, and so. But there's just something about when you present as homeless and you become disheveled over time. It took about 6 weeks to do it. So by like week 2, I'm looking and feeling the part. People don't look at you. When people don't look at you, you feel invisible. And when you feel invisible, you go, things don't go well mentally for you. And people really only know who they are by how people treat them. That's an old thought in psychology. And so when people start treating you bad or dismissing your existence or seeing you as a problem or problematic or dirty or something to be avoided or something to...
A nuisance.
Yeah, it happens really quick. That's what struck me the most was the deterioration of your mental state when you're living rough on the streets is really quick. And that's without any predisposition or problems beforehand. So, but yeah, my friend... He goes, San Francisco's up here, LA's down here, it's downhill all the way, how hard could it be? But it was mentally very tough. And I allowed myself, I've been doing a bit of acting for a while now. I went to one of those schools, spent all my savings to get myself into one of those schools to figure out how to get in touch with all emotions, and so I let them percolate up instead of hiding them, and I dropped the military facade and just so I would have little breakdowns on camera and share those.
How long
but I was still tethered. I knew, I was aware of it. I wasn't playing it, but I was allowing it to be shared.
Yeah, you were really articulate with how you were feeling. And I remember being like, wow, he's not really well spoken. Obviously really well spoken, but you were like, you're really describing very in detail how you were feeling.
Yeah, I was trying
and
to.
You were like, today, this and this happened, and I'm just like, wow, like he's really going through it. Like this is tough.
Well, somebody's smart. I can't remember who, but somebody said just like if you actually articulate, if you just watch how you're adapting to the problem of living out rough in the streets and deteriorating physically and mentally over time, and you just talk about how it feels, that will probably be compelling. And the more you suffer, the more money you will raise. So I just said, okay, how hard can I make it and definitely survive? So I said, okay, I'll just live outside, doorways, trucks, trees, bit of plastic for storms, and then I will walk as much as I can, as far as I can, and then I'll probably pick up an injury. And so I knew my legs were going to go at some point, so that was one thing, a hurdle that I knew was going to be a problem that I'd have to overcome. But on the third day, I got a stick in the eye, and I nearly lost my eye.
I remember that.
On the first day. Sorry, second morning.
Yeah, I remember that.
And once I got a stick in my eye, I was like, oh, should I put this on YouTube? This is a little... I was trying to wrestle with it, and then I said, oh, wait, no, Frank, you agreed you were going to be completely honest, and you're raising money for charity, and you are deteriorating, and it's only day one, and this might act as a catalyst to fuel the fire. So I put the video of the eye problem up, and then it was like 500 a day just coming in. So we raised 20,000 for homeless healthcare, Los Angeles, and then 10,000 for production, which went on to the second walk in Ireland, across Ireland. But I met a lot of interesting characters, and you will realize things about yourself when you're afraid and cold and deteriorating mentally and physically, that you realize a lot about your mortality, a lot about how much suffering is around you that you ignore on a daily basis, and it's very hard to unsee it.
Yeah.
Once you've hung out and slept beside people who nobody cares about, and they're living in a doorway, and they're, injecting so much that they might lose a leg or an arm, and you're just, and they're nice to you, and they're very vulnerable, and they tell you their story, and then you see that outside your doorway here in LA, you kind of, it's pretty heavy stuff, and I've been trying to shake that for a while.
It's still you still have it with you?
Yeah, it's pretty heavy stuff, because I know they're still out there actually, and I know them. They were very nice to me, so they're definitely not having a good time right now. I was just thinking. And they took care of me, and I was raising money in theory for these guys. Yeah. But they were sharing their food with me and making me feel welcome and offering me whatever they had to offer. So the fact that they're still out there now, a year later, and in 6 weeks I was nearly a broken man. I can't imagine what 2 years out there would feel like. And also, there's a parallel universe like living right beside us. Yeah. But for the grace of God go I. And it's just the fact that it's right there. It's literally right outside the door here, isn't it? Yeah. En masse, thousands, maybe 20,000. I think 60,000 homeless in LA.
Probably more, I think more.
Yeah, and most of them not fully aware that they're out there. Yeah. Not fully in control.
A lot of trauma there.
Yeah, and only about 30% are actually on drugs. Yeah. The misconception is, they're all on drugs. That's an easy way to distance yourself from.
To make yourself feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. The majority of them are not on drugs.
Yeah.
They're just disenfranchised, hurt.
Yeah. And I watched. People. Yeah. One of the cooler things, because I studied a little psychology in college, so. And I love people. Like I grew up watching Michael Palin, and he's this guy who travels around the world, meeting different cultures. Might live in a jungle one day, then might go to Timbuktu the next, and then he might be in New York, and he might be in India dealing with street kids or whatever. So I'm like fascinated by anthropology. So just to try and walk in the shoes of somebody else, like it's like Yeah. I thought I'd get something out of it, but I didn't realize like, I kind of opened the aperture a bit too much, and since then, it's very hard to operate in the same way on the planet once you've
walked that road.
Yeah, or at least I only like scraped the surface, but you just kind of go, oh, okay, damn, I better at least put some of my life force towards that. Otherwise, I'm aware of something that's going on that's really bad, and I'm not doing anything. Yeah. So it's.
Well, I mean, I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I thought it was amazing. Yeah. I was completely moved when you were doing it. I was with you like every step of the way. I remember sharing your stuff, and I remember, first of all, you've done more for the cause than most people. You raised $20,000 for this movement. So. We've done more than.
Well, do you know what? I got to do what I wanted to do, and I acted as in fairness. My money, my investment was okay. I'll put my life force towards this. I don't mind being on camera. I'll organize it, and I like adventures, and I like anthropology, and I like this challenge, and this appeals to my brain. I'll definitely, if I'm going to do it, I'll complete it. But the money came from everybody else, and that's another magical experience, dude. When people start like
coming together.
I'm sure there was people ridiculing me and making fun of me too, but there was definitely like a feeling of being right in the sweet spot of existence.
Really?
Because I'm walking down the street with just a cell phone, a small backpack, and every day I'm doing a bigger and bigger interview. So by the time I get here, it's like Inside Edition, London Times.
Yeah.
Talking to the Ellen producers, didn't happen, but got close. And the goal was to get on Ellen, because I know if I get on Ellen, she'll match the 20, and then she'll do another 100,000 for homeless healthcare Los Angeles.
Yeah.
But I did the pre-interview with one of the producers, but I think I was just you're kind of competing for stage time with Russell Brand and whoever else is going to be on Ellen that week. So it just didn't fit. And I was really, my eye, literally, dude, one of my eyes was slightly off kilter, and I had lost a lot of weight. And
also, how are you supposed to talk to the producers of Ellen while also worrying where you're going to sleep that night?
The great thing about being walking is there's nothing to do but distract yourself from the fact you got 20 miles or 30 miles.
How fast were you walking? You walking just regular speed?
3-4 miles. Sometimes I'd sit down beside a bush and take 3 hours out, and then I might do another 8 hours that night. But the biggest day I did was 43.5 miles. So it was
wow.
It was coming up to the end, and I wanted to see what this physical part of your existence can do. So and at the start I thought it would have been easier to do the big miles, but by the end of 6 weeks, your body's just I guess he's gonna do the thing, so I'll put all the food. I could tell my body was really becoming very, very good at using every molecule of food that I put in.
Wow, yeah.
And one weird thing though, Melvin, was I went into a supermarket about halfway, what do you call them, supermarkets in the States? Only here 5 years. But supermarket, and I'm looking at all the stuff on the shelves, and I went in there out of habit because it was a warm feeling, getting close to a fireplace. This is where there's a bounty of things that will make me feel good. I walked in, dude, and I had this mental shift of, I don't need anything in life. Society has nothing. I'm paying into a society that really doesn't benefit me in a healthy way. And all I need is water, fruit, and what I've got in my hand and on my back.
Yeah.
But my whole life it's been marketed to me that I need at least a 2-bedroom house, a car, a job.
At least?
Minimum. And then I gotta save up all my money for years and years and years to pay off the mortgage. And then I own the house, but then every chance I get, I fly somewhere to get the fuck away from my house and my belongings.
That's absurd when you think about it.
It is marketing, dude. Marketing, they sell us the future and they make us lament the past, but the main thing is that they don't want us present. When I was walking, dude, because when you're present, you don't need anything. When I was walking, dude, apart from losing my mind, I definitely became aware of the simplicity of life and how you can have a pretty good time with nothing.
Yeah.
But I had an end in sight. I had family, I had a support network, I had a cell phone, and I knew I was going back to security. A lot of people who are living out, they have none of that. So it's like, they're in hell, dude.
Yeah, and that's why when people criticize some of these people who do use drugs or do get drunk, it's just like, you're going to too. You would want to too if you were living on the street with no end in sight.
Oh, dude, and it's really, like, some people end up on the street. It's only 33% that are using drugs, apparently.
Yeah.
That's the number that I've been told. But if I was out there, I might start, I don't personally smoke it, but I might start smoking marijuana just to sleep a little bit better. And then you're just, you're out there for a while, a few months, and one of your friends hands you something, maybe there's just something in it, And all of a sudden, you may as well. I mean, your friends are doing it. It's not like anyone's going to be employing you the next day, so you go, sure, I'll keep going. And then there's another thing. I got talking to so many people offered me, meth, because I'm walking at night, and I've got a backpack on. So I look like I'm, I'm on the same journey as them or whatever. And I wouldn't obviously take it because I've heard too many stories. But what you realize, what they told me en masse, like more than one time, was that a lot of people smoke meth. They started smoking meth on the streets because they couldn't sleep during the night without being disturbed or fearful. So they would smoke meth to stay up at night, and then they would sleep in the parks during the day. So it was like, it was just literally, it was easier to smoke meth and get sleep than it was to live a clean existence. And also the anxiety's through the roof, dude, because you're out there like anyone. So there's also people out there, who are not nice people.
Yeah.
Predatorial types.
Yeah.
You can see it in their eyes.
They see them as
if somebody,
prey.
Yeah, and that's definitely out there. I met, or at least I came in eye to eye with a few of those people. And
how was that?
Pretty intense, man.
Yeah.
Pretty intense, because there's one guy who was walking along a railroad track, pretty dark. I was already pretty isolated, and he was just like, he just stared at me as if there was no reason. Like, there's only two of us for at least a few miles, so normal interaction would be, hey, how you doing? I'm not going to kill you. You're not going to kill me. His interaction was, his eyes. If he was playing, if he wanted to win an Academy Award for sending out signals and acting like somebody who's a psychopath, and that wanted me dead, that guy was doing a perfect impression of that. Wow. And I met some other guys who told me that. Another guy I met out there, he had robbed a police car when he was drunk, taking a chase. He showed me the video, so we had a laugh about that. It's like, it's obviously not cool, but it's funny. It's interesting. I've never met anybody who robbed a police car and could show me a video of them robbing the police car. And so we walked a few miles together one night, and he was a sweet dude, but he told me as well he had met some predatory types out there. And I found a lot of homeless people are perhaps so generous that might be why they're homeless, is because they don't have a self-sustaining kind of mechanism. As in, they give things, give, and so they don't have that ability
to say no.
They don't keep a reserve for themselves. So sometimes I'd be walking up, just coming up to a 7-Eleven. You'd put in a few miles, come up to 7-Eleven, and usually wherever there's light and a little bit of security and the chance of maybe a little bit of cash or begging or like a bit of food. So I would come up, I'd drop my rucksack because they don't want me in there now at this point. It's a few weeks in, so I dropped the rucksack down. And, without even a word, you just know that the guys will take care of your rucksack. You come out, you bring a pizza, and then you're just sitting there sharing pizza. The lads will offer you whatever they have, Like, it's very humbling to realize that a lot of homeless people are way more giving than the people who think that they're begging all the time. Like, they're some of the sweetest, most, a lot of people I met would have been probably incredible artists because they're so sensitive. But because they're so sensitive, maybe they just didn't have the right support structures in life or infrastructure to keep them on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
And so they're just processing a lot more than the average human, you know? And so, and then that maybe they kind of take a sidetrack into drugs, or, you know, they just don't have a support network. They don't have a brother or sister or a friend they can call because maybe social skills aren't on point. So you just meet amazing people out there, man. And
yeah, it was so incredible I was just so inspired when you were doing that. And I remember I performed at the Comedy Store.
Oh.
And I shouted you out because I was just so moved by it. And I was just like, and I remember I saw a video of you were pretty down bad. You're down bad. I don't know. I forget the reason.
Dude, I was down bad pretty much from day 3.
Yeah.
At Christmas, I got a little bit of a break because my shins were so sore. I stopped at the beach and I kind of bathed them in the sun. Dude, when you sent me that video.
Yeah, I was just like, I have to send him that video. I have to do something. And I was just like, Joey Diaz was like the headliner of that show at the Comedy Store. And I was like, what if I just like send him like a video of like all these people cheering him on, because every person that I would mention you to them, they'd be like, wow, that's awesome. Like their lights would light up and be like, that's so awesome that he's doing that.
People say the nice thing to me. I hear maybe they're just like, what's the point in telling them? I did get 1 or 2 people going, oh, here we go.
Ooh.
Raising awareness. It's like, yeah,
fuck them.
But
fuck them, dude. Fuck people like that.
But like,
dude.
it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I want to do all the things in life, right? Like, so I did the soldiering thing. I know what that looks like. I know how dark humanity can be. I've shook hands with child soldiers who've killed their families, right? So once you see that, you kind of go, I'm not going anywhere near that shit. And if I see even a semblance of it, I'm going over this way. So, you know, it's like a reaction. You go, okay, so there's 2 paths in life. You can move towards the good, or you can kind of slowly whittle your way down into the bad, and before you know it, you don't even know the miasma you're fucking swimming in, right? So I'm just trying to point myself slightly to the good side of things without being insufferable and like annoying. Because I am
and you weren't.
I have a lot of...
You weren't. It was very admirable, and I had to send you that message.
Dude, that video was great. That gave me that gave me so much energy. And then, do you know what else it gave me? I posted it, and I realized a thing about social media, because I'm not really that savvy with it, but I learned a lot on that trip. Is like, as you post things, you're training the people that are watching your stuff what you share, and so they send you stuff. So you set off kind of like, you were like a catalyst for me getting loads of encouraging videos.
Really?
Yeah, and then a church sent me a video, like the whole church going, "You can do it."
What?
Yeah, on a Sunday, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then a little kid, like a little kid going, "Rough set," or like, you know, just people sending me these videos or little art projects, and you know, when you're out there, dude, you're really like sensitive, man. You're first of all, your anxiety's through the roof, right? Yeah. Because there's psychos around.
For sure.
Yeah, there's psychos around, you know, and you're out, you're exposed, you're sleeping exposed, and you're sleeping in a place where someone, you know, we're not built to sleep in built-up areas in cityscapes. Once I got out into the country, it felt like, oh, I'm on holidays here. Yeah. But I was walking through the cities because it's important to me. Get the tone and the vibe and the reality right. But yeah, I'm under no illusions, man. Like, some people will never get what I was trying to do, but one guy did tell me, a sound engineer at a comedy club up in Marin, I appreciate him. He goes, yeah, at the start, dude, I thought, oh my God, here we go. Hollywood's doing the thing again. And then at the end he goes, yeah, dude, I didn't get it, but like by week 3, he got it. Oh, so he's literally walking in to see what this is like. What's it like out there? Yeah. What's it like? How messed up can this get? Yeah. That was it.
Yeah. No, I knew that. So you guys don't know. So you guys know, I did a show at the Comedy Store. It was a really great show. And at the end of my set, I told everyone Frank's story, and everyone was just like, what? I could see it in their face, and they start clapping. And I'm like, so I'm gonna send him this video because, you know, he needs the support. He's really going through it right now. Like, you guys would too if you guys walked fucking 600 fucking miles.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and then I pointed at me, and then at the end I just showed the whole audience, and everyone was just like cheering you on.
Bro, I love that. I loved it because
Yo, Frank.
No, just so you watch it again.
It's not going unnoticed, and you inspire us all. You inspire me, broski. And just let you know, look at all these people who are behind you. Look at all this. Yeah, I'm at the fucking comedy store right now, so you know I'm doing pretty good at myself.
I'm such a bitch, dude.
Unnoticed, and you inspire us all. You inspire me, broski. And just let you know, look at all these people who are behind you. Look at all these.
Yeah.
Dude, I was telling
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, that stuff. I wasn't having a good time. So when you see that, it was just. And then if you try and figure out what that might mean, just anybody, even just, hey, how you doing? Are you okay? To the person outside the store who nobody has like made conversation with that day. Like, just if people start treating you like you don't exist, you start to question whether you exist. It's illogical. It doesn't make sense. But like, if there's one thing I learned from that walk, and I try to do it now, and I don't always do it, but I try and make time. So I'll leave earlier when I'm going somewhere, just so that if I meet someone who's having a weird time, I can go, okay, this guy he needs to talk for a few minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily gonna buy him the smokes or the beer or whatever. I don't know how to deal with that stuff. You know, maybe drop a few books if you have it, but like in general, like just people being acknowledged that they exist is huge. Like if you just go, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
And then they might be really nice and accessible, or they might be annoying, but
Most of the time they're really nice.
yeah, but yeah, and any suffering you go through will be tiny compared to what they're going through on the daily. So it's kind of, dude, I just try and do a little bit of good stuff. That video gets me though, right in the bollocks.
I looked it up this morning for this episode, and I was just like, what a time that was.
Yeah,
What a
we
time
had
that was.
comedy clubs, bro.
Live comedy.
Dude, the real reason I went for the walk was because I couldn't get stage time in LA.
Yeah.
That's the real truth. No, but
Yeah. No, I just remember, dude. I remember being like, and I at that point we hadn't talked in a while, and
that was why it was so nice.
yeah.
Because, well, first of all, your energy is always pleasant to be around, right? Like, I'm not just because I'm on your show. Honestly, fuck the show. Not just because I'm on the show, but wherever I am, and if you're there, it's always like, oh, that was a pleasant interaction.
Yeah.
That's not always common among, let's say, people going for it in Hollywood, right? It can be tumultuous at times.
Yeah.
So just the fact that I hadn't talked to you in a while, and then you took the time to do that, and I could see you were enjoying it and they were enjoying it, it was like, oh man, it was like a battery pack. Like, it was like I probably did a lot more miles that day, dude.
Yeah.
You know, just on that one video. And then, that's another thing. You realize, emotionally, the harder when you do really hard physical stuff, like if you're into adventure racing or any soldiering or even just like hard aerobic training, you realize how little things, like a can of Coke, like when I was in the army, one of the things like you're not allowed to bring out onto the ground, like if you're going out on patrols or whatever, is like, you're not supposed to bring out cans of Coke, but like everybody might just bring out one can of Coke and they sneak it in at the bottom of the bag, and then end of the hardest week, or you say you dig a hole and you're living in it for a while and you're working out of it or whatever, you know that Coke is there like for the whole week, and then on your worst day, dude, you just like your hands are all sore, and then you reach down into the bottom of the bag and you take out the can and it's paradise, bro. It's like one can of Coke, bro.
Yeah.
So when you sent me that was like an endorphin rush, and like humans want to be like, we want to be tough, man, but like if you're having a bad day and somebody just extends out a handshake or a video of them performing to 100 people or 200 people with Joey Diaz headlining, I mean, at some point you kind of go, oh, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. No,
thank you.
Dude, of course, bro. That's how inspired I was. I was just like, and like I said, we hadn't talked, and because I know that I knew that you were walking.
Yeah.
And I knew, you even mentioned it in one of your videos, you're like, I don't get service out here, so if you guys DM me, I'm sorry, I probably won't get back to you. Or it'll take me a while for me to get back to you. So when I sent it to you, I didn't hear back for like a day. So I was just like, man, I guess I didn't. I was just like, I sent it out, obviously for you.
Yeah.
And obviously, so you can see it for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you got back to me, and then, yeah, man, people were like, your sister started following me after that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's a painter, right?
Painter, yeah. Yeah, she's great artist.
Yeah.
Cronin. Cat Cronin.
Yeah.
Instagram.
She said something really sweet in the comments of that, and I was just like, that's really cool. I got like a bunch of like Irish people following me now. It's pretty.
And it's also just for if we're since we're talking about it, it's if you're raised, so I'm Irish, there's a certain stoicism to existence in Ireland, right? The rain, is the weather. Yeah. So you have to kind of try and be upbeat, and raised Irish Catholic, then military, then a little bit of business. So I had always been a little, guarded, and so coming to Hollywood and trying to access, the emotional side of things on a deeper level. Like you always, you can do if your parents are good, you can do a pretty good impression of somebody who, like, you can be pretty connected to the world. But I'll tell you, sharing and crying and blubbering and losing repeatedly on camera, and knowing that there are people who are going to not let you feel good about this and are going to probably say negative things, that's I've never grown emotionally as quick. Like I either broke something or I opened the aperture of experience.
Yeah.
In terms of
you broke that membrane almost. Yeah.
Dude, it's like those people who are doing that like heavy weights and they go, I got to break the membrane.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. You break through. It's like you work a muscle so hard that you open up. At least you just increase the capacity to feel things or sense things. Like, I'm sure there are people who are a lot more empathetic, but it definitely made me more empathetic.
There are people who were empathetic. There were people who were inspired. There were people that thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
90% of the people who saw that really liked it, really enjoyed it.
You know what's funny? I didn't get a single negative message on the thing. The only negative I experienced was that when I was on the campaign, somebody asked me to share a podcast that I had done with them like ages ago. And at that point, I was already a broken person and it seemed pushy. So I said, I'm not going to do it till I get back. And that was the only negativity I experienced. Like, so pretty magical.
Yeah.
Money flowing in.
And you, I saw a video of you at this amazing fancy gala, talking about your experience. Oh yeah.
So yeah. There's definitely. Yeah. So when I got back, Homeless Healthcare Los Angeles, HHCLA, donate. They love money and they know what to do with it. Yep. It's really good, man. So they invited me to host or speak as the ambassador or the newest ambassador to Homeless Healthcare Los Angeles, and it was a big gala and fancy building, and I was just coming on. I can't remember what time frame, but I was still readjusting to reality. Like, it's truly a different world, dude, out there. If you're like I wasn't homeless categorically. I only touched the surface of it, but it's so mind-altering. Like everything we pay into in society, dude, and what we invest into in society, and the careers we try and create, and families and structure, and hello, how are you, and hierarchies, and when you walk down the street, nodding and all that. When you're out there long term, dude, like I was only out there a few weeks, but when you're out there long term, I can't imagine there being any reason for why you would want to reintegrate back into society. It barely makes sense.
Really?
After about 3 weeks, dude, I was just looking at society like, wow, they're all down there in traffic. What's the point? What are they going to do? Go get a job? You know, like they're going to work in a job that they don't like for that much time? You know, it starts to play tricks. You start to see through the matrix. It's very disturbing.
Well, that's why a lot of people don't. So we're close to Skid Row, where we're located right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Which for Irish people, Skid Row is like downtown central LA with thousands and thousands of people who are either
homeless, disenfranchised.
Yeah,
and
being rehabilitated or deteriorating.
Yeah, it's just because it's like a cluster of shelters and resource centers in this particular location. That's why a lot of people stay on the street for blocks and blocks around here. But there are a lot of people who have been given opportunities to get a small little place, and they choose not to.
Well, it's a lot. Dude, when I came back and I saw a parking ticket on my car, that seemed like because I've been so focused on like survival, the bandwidth that took up in my head was like, it was like, I was operating on DSL, like what's that, or slow internet from the 80s.
Yeah.
So, and so just the idea that I would have to, first of all, call this number and pull out a wallet, like, and get the thing, and like, it's only 6 weeks, but you deteriorate so quick, and if you're focused on survival, all the silly stuff of picking the right clothes and combing your hair and having a shave and like that, it's not ranked in priority. Like your number one thing out there is food, survival, shelter, who's around me, and I imagine if you have a problem, where am I getting my next meal or fix? Yeah. And so it's really hard, man. Even if you're like it's really hard to pull yourself out of that circumstance. And an honest exclusive. So it took me about a few months after moving back, I ended up in my car. Because I couldn't fully, I was in my car for about 6 months.
Really?
Yeah, because I couldn't fully readjust.
Really?
Yeah. I think I could have, but my threshold, it was like I decided that I could now acclimatize down here, and life was easier down here. So I just took the foot off the accelerator in terms of appearance and career, and just wanted a different type of interaction with existence. So I did the. I'm not living in a car now. I'm doing great.
Yeah, for sure.
But it rocked me enough that it's definitely put me out of myself and made me into something that wasn't too sure what it was for a while. Yeah. Because once you start seeing what you've been paying into and investing and trying to achieve and create, and a lifestyle and a house and friend groups, all of that, to maintain all of that is a massive amount of bandwidth. And if you've spent a lot of time in solitude without too many responsibilities, no electricity bill, you can piss in the bush, there's water in every bar. Yeah. There's bananas are 15 cents. There's certain things that, like, you start looking at this and going, why was I even doing any of that? I think I'm just gonna see what's over here. And you know what the funny thing is, if you can stay clean, which I happen to be, I have no issues there. I barely drink. I don't think I've drank in a long time. You're on 150 days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't drink for the sake of it. I never had a problem with it, but it's like, this is almost the enlightened path. To not get tangled up in the matrix of this society that doesn't serve us. So it's almost like, oh shit, is living out and off the grid like the way to go? So there you go. I just thought I'm good now. Mum, dad, family, people I work with.
Ireland, we're good, baby.
Majors managed, but yeah, I did a while in the car, and anyone who asked me, I said, oh no, I'm doing it by choice. Any of my friends who found out, but it wasn't 100% by choice. It was like my brain wasn't computing things in the same way.
Like you say, you got rocked. The experience rocked you.
Yeah,
It's gonna
rocked me,
take
dude.
It's gonna take you
6 weeks. It broke me, bro.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
I look at it now. It's a nice memory.
Yeah, it's a cool fucking memory to have.
Yeah.
It's a cool story.
Yeah, and you get it, dude. Right? You get one run through in life, so you just kind of want to like do things that at some point you can like, look back and go, oh, that was.
Yeah.
I took a chance there.
Yeah, and even if you just break it down in the simplest form.
Yeah.
Just saying, yeah, I walked from San Francisco to LA. That sentence itself is like.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, learned a lot about like ideas and like moving ideas into the zeitgeist and
Yeah.
like you learn when media starts paying attention to something you're doing, you start to realize how that mechanism works. And so then when I did the Irish one, I was able to get 20,000 to an Irish homeless charity, which is called the Simon Community, and that only took a week because you realize, you start to get better. So, and then the next one is could you raise 20,000 in a day, So it went from 6 weeks was 20, got it down to a week for the Irish one, and then the Irish one was cool because it was on my home turf, and the final stage, I got to perform along the way, like Irish football clubs, and got to do like shows and jump in on shows that like comedians I had loved growing up were doing. That I've never performed with those.
You were doing theaters over there. You're doing major, big. Big
did I do so? Yeah, I got to do the last show was I got to step on stage and Glenn Hansard is jamming out from the movie Once, if anyone doesn't know who he is, The Frames, and Monday, which is a band that some people know. Yeah. It's a great band, great Irish band. And Bono was supposed to be there. He couldn't make it, but they all do they do that once a year. They do the Christmas carols in Dublin, and I got to experience that.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Dude, thanks again for coming to the show, man. This has been really great.
It's a little
you're very. Every time I think about you, it's very fond memories, and I remember when the first time I went on tour. It was I was doing comedy and also hosting the shows. Yeah. And I never hosted shows. And I remember I called you, I reached out to you, and I was just like, hey, I just got this crazy opportunity, and I don't know shit about hosting. Yeah. And you broke it down in the simplest forms, and what you said.
I was excited for you. What was it? I bet you what was it? Identify 3 things in the room that are happening right now.
Yeah, and then and you gave me like 5 major points, and then the last one was, you have to be the audience's best friend.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, you don't have to be so much funny as in you're just segueing them from terrible
You're the
traffic.
bridge. Yeah, you're the bridge between the entertainers, because you're an entertainer yourself. You're a bridge between you and the entertainers and the audience.
Yeah.
So you're basically like, if some crazy shit happens, you go, well, it wasn't that crazy.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And I remember you broke it down in the simplest form, and it was really easy to follow, and it helped me tremendously. And now I'm really fucking good at hosting, dude.
Yes, right. Well, I have to say, dude, it makes sense. You're naturally likable, and being likable is the hardest thing to be, and being non-combative and like just wanting people to have a good time. If you truly want people to have a good time, comedy's way easier. Yeah. If it's all about you, it's really hard.
Yeah.
It's like
absolutely, dude. All right, quick speed round. What's the biggest thing Americans and Irishmen have in common? Irishmen?
Irishman?
Yeah, The Irishman, directed by Martin Scorsese.
Oh, probably that movie.
Yeah.
Well, it was the longest at least. But that just do it, I can do it attitude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that negative or positive?
I think that's a positive. I mean, you guys went to the moon, dude.
Yeah.
You guys went to the moon. You guys have the most. I know you have your problems over here, but no one's rocking it like America. You guys are out there. You guys are out there doing the most. Like, it's the biggest experiment on the planet, and it might not be perfect, but you guys are going for it.
We are here, baby. We are here. All right. You serve with both the UN and the Irish Army. Who's got the better uniforms?
Oh, the Irish Army. And,
Really?
yeah.
I saw a picture of you in a uniform. I was like, dude, this motherfucker's cute, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Christ. You were just like...
Hey, maybe I shouldn't have brought those flowers. It's
Yeah. Actually, can you guys leave real quick? Just leave
You take me with you.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm
All right. Okay, it says you. All right. You're kind of a nomad almost.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah. A Renaissance man. What? Yeah. You're a Renaissance nomad.
What's a like somebody who does a load of stuff?
Nomad?
I think that's called ADHD.
So, what material objects does a man who doesn't seem to need anything have?
Oh,
What would you need?
Oh, money to call your mother. But no, I have, $7 watch. I got a hole in my jeans.
Yeah. Zoom in on the hole.
Oh, yeah, get in there, yeah. There's another hole in there if you look deep enough. No, what do you want? You want water, and you want a cell phone so that you can stay sane.
For sure. Awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So here at the M-Word, we like to give flowers. We like to give flowers when people are alive to give them.
Yeah.
Or to receive them. Here at the M-Word, we like to give flowers out when people are alive to receive them.
Oh.
So in honor of that,
Oh, wow.
we're here to give you some flowers. Because we
This
are
is a
located in the flower district.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just appreciate you for even coming out and being so great.
Thank you.
And I love you, Frank. There you go, man.
Thank you, dude.
I saw those tulips and I was just like, that's Frank.
Well, it's orange. I'm a ginger.
Okay,
so
that's
I see
dude, that's racist. Cut that out.
So one of my friends goes, he's black. He goes, oh, you're a ginger, but not with a hard R. So I know he's black, so he said it. He's allowed to say it. I would not. This is one of the nicest and strangest things that's ever happened. So I'm very grateful. Thank you very much. And lads, a pleasure working with y'all.
Likewise.
You're all going to do very, 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 very big things. I can sense it. The energy's right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Frank.
Yeah.
Again, thank you. And we're out. There's been a lot of talk about my man bun. And I'm here to set the record straight. My man bun is kind, understanding, a Democrat, and believes in equal rights. And I'm here to say, it's here to stay. So if you have anything to say about my man bun, don't. Because I like it. I feel free. I feel pretty as shit. Okay? But seriously, if you guys don't like it, I'll probably just cut my hair next week, to be honest with you, dude. I'm probably gonna get a haircut tomorrow, so. Bye.